What's up, guys? Welcome to Sharpen Your Sword Podcast, episode number 18. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you guys for subscribing. Your support means the world to us, guys. It helps us out way more than you think. And on last episode, guys, we started the first episode of a series of 4, okay? And that was starting the idea, right? Starting the business. The 4-part series of starting a business. Episode 1 was getting the idea and trying to bring it to reality. So episode 2 now is we already have the idea. Now we want to start working towards making the business, making the plan to start the business. So we need an official business plan, okay? And I'm always here with the number 1 co-host in the world, Giovanni Jimenez.
Hey.
You ready to rock?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, episode 2 of this 4-part series. Today, like I said, we are starting off talking about the business plan, the importance of a business plan, and how it will help us see success in our business and give us a blueprint and kind of navigate us through to start our business.
100%. Today, like you mentioned, we're talking about the business plan. And I know some people, they're probably like they do math in their head, like, oh, I got it in my head. Mm-hmm. And I can navigate through this. I have the idea, I have the vision, and I can see the millions pouring into the business. But so pretty much a business plan is pretty much like the bones, the skeleton of a business. But why is it so important to make a business plan to begin with instead of just like, oh, I'm going to just do it on the whim? I'm going to just build as it goes.
So the business plan is important for many reasons, right? First of all, I never really officially written a business plan, okay? I always had an outline, but to have a 20-page document and this is the order, me personally, I have never done it. Official business plan, right? That where I pass it out to partners or businesses, whatever, okay? And so the good thing is, like I said, I haven't had an official one, but I have written the plans, just a sketch. And I realized, looking back at when I was younger and I would just wing it, right? I would just say, hey, I'm going to open a business and I'm going to do it. And I just come up with random things. Of course, I was 18. I had no real experience, right? Besides just, hey, set up on the corner, sell some shoes, right? Never really looked into profit. I just knew I had to sell them for, if I sell them this much, I make X amount of dollars profit. But I never looked at the profit loss statements, balance sheets. I didn't look at all this. I didn't create all this. It was just, okay, I made money today. That's it. But the importance of a business plan is it's a guide. It's a blueprint. Okay? But we have broken up a business plan today into 7 parts. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it's simple. Like I told you guys on the last episode, we are keeping it entry level, right? We are not making this very sophisticated. We want this 4-part series to be entry level, just to kind of open your mind up, open your eyes up on things to look for that will help you be successful. And so in this basic business plan that we're going to talk about is just 7 parts, okay? And so in these 7 parts, if you kind of follow them and you kind of do them for your business, okay, it will actually open up your eyes to more things because it will lead you down a path where you're researching and you're looking on how to better the business or what you want in the business, okay? Instead of saying, hey, I'm going to open up a coffee shop and I think I'm going to sell $250 a day. I'm going to make $250 a day, Instead, I'm going to write a financial plan, financial statement, budgets, expenses, profits, losses, right? I'm going to go more into detail on what it costs to run my coffee shop. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go more into detail on what it costs me to open the coffee shop. I'm going to know the details on what it costs me to make a cup of coffee, what I'm going to sell it for, what the profit's going to be. Now, when I break it down to the T like that, now I truly know the numbers. When I truly know the numbers, now I can kind of formulate a plan on selling 100 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
Because now if I know I have $2 profit on the cup and I sell 100 cups of coffee a day, I have $200 profit. Instead of saying, hey, I'm going to just open the coffee shop and wing it. You know, I have no business statement. I have no real goal set in place for who's going to run it, who's going to be the manager, who are the employees going to be, what are their jobs, what is my job, what is the goal of the business. Okay, I have none of that. But if I write out a business plan, I will have all this written out. So I have something that's going to guide me and lead me on the right path.
100%. It's like they say that fail to plan, plan to fail.
Yep.
You know? And so that makes a lot of sense, especially like in business when things are very unpredictable. And you never know what's coming at you. And you can take a business so many ways. You know, you can pivot so many ways. And it could end up being something completely different from what you originally started. Because you didn't have that guideline. You didn't have that roadmap. So you swayed really hard. Like, I know, like, I know sometimes a lot of businesses, some people, like, they start selling one item. They're like, not making profit. Let me start selling this other item. And they just, like, flip-flop. And next thing you know, they got, like a Walmart in the store, you know?
I did that at 18.
Did you?
Yeah.
But, so first one of the business plan is the executive summary. So could you go into detail? What is the executive summary?
So the executive summary is the beginning of the business plan, okay? And this is just a summary on what's going to go down and how it's going to go down, okay? Who are going to be the employees, right? What are you going to accomplish? What are your goals to accomplish? Who's going to be leading the company? Or who are your leaders? CEO, CFO, whoever it is, manager, assistant manager, whoever you want to put, okay? And how the operation is going to work and where it's going to be. This is just something, like I said, this is entry level, basic level of what the executive summary is going to be, okay? And this is where you put what do you want out of your business, you know? And we can use a coffee shop. Let's just say, let's use a coffee shop because I want to open a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay, and I keep saying I'm going to do it. Okay, why do I want a coffee shop? You know, where am I going to put the coffee shop? Who's going to be in charge of my coffee shop? Who's going to be the manager? Who's going to run? Who's going to be the baristas, right? All of this is going to be part of my executive summary. Okay, and what do I want to do with my coffee shop? What do I want to accomplish? How much money do I want to make? You know, what is the goal, the main goal of this business?
Yeah.
Okay. And so in the executive summary, this is going to lay this out. Of course, when it comes to leaders and, you know, who's going to run the company and employees, this is always going to change. But you always have to have a starting point. Okay. And so in your executive summary, you already write this out. You have your location. You know what you want to accomplish. Okay. And you know who's going to run it and how they're going to run it. Okay. And so, bam, there you go with that. Instead of saying, I'm going to open up a coffee shop. Now you don't know who's going to run it. You have no idea who's going to run it. You have no idea how it's going to run. And you don't even know what you want to accomplish with that. When you open a business, of course, we all want to make money. I want to open a coffee shop. Of course, making money it has to be there. Because if I can't make money in the business, I can't keep it. Mm-hmm. But why do I want to open a coffee shop? I want to open a coffee shop because I enjoy the coffee shops. I enjoy drinking a cup of coffee with my friend. Right?
Yeah.
This is something I like to do. And so, very rare I find a coffee shop that I truly enjoy just to sit there, drink a cup of coffee, and have fun. And so, I want to open up a coffee shop that gives this vibe, gives this feeling to consumers. To come in and truly enjoy a cup of coffee, feel relaxed, and enjoy the time in the coffee shop instead of feeling like, hey, pick up a coffee and go. Or not enjoying the time there, getting a cup of coffee and just leaving 10, 15, 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I want them to sit there and truly enjoy it. This is why I want a coffee shop. Okay, now I know why I want a coffee shop. Okay, obviously, like I said, money. But number two is I like the coffee shops and I want people to truly enjoy their time there. And I want them to find the homey place, the vibey place, right? Not to just be a normal standard coffee shop. I go to Dunkin', I don't really sit there. Mm-hmm. I've sat there with you guys maybe twice, maybe on the way to a tournament in the morning. We sat there and ate before we hit the road, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we go to a local coffee shop around us, like there's one that I kind of like. We sit there an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So that's what I want. I truly enjoy that. All right. Now, in my executive summary, who's gonna run this? Okay, I know maybe Little Johnny. I know Little Johnny's looking for a job. I know he's worked this in the coffee industry before, right? Or Deborah, whoever it is. You know what I mean? She's worked in the coffee industry, you know? And, okay, that's 2 potential employees right there, you know? Or maybe, whoever it is, put a name, Stacy or Allison or whatever it is. So they worked in the coffee shops for 10, 15 years, okay? They have experience. Maybe that can be a potential manager. Interview, okay, bam, they agree. There's my manager.
Yeah.
Now, either I look for baristas or they might know some. Now they have 1 or 2 that they know. Now I got my 2 employees. I got that part covered now. Who's going to be in charge? Who's going to be day-to-day operations? Big weight off my shoulder. Just because I decided to plan ahead of time. At 18 years old, I just opened a business. That's all I did. I signed a lease on a building, and I threw merchandise in it, and I unlocked the doors.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, okay? I didn't really know the importance of a business plan until probably 3-4 years ago, to write things out, who's going to run it, how they're going to run it, you know? When I first opened, I didn't have an official plan, like I said. But now I have documents in my laptop on the roles of every person.
Yeah. That's very smart, because when most people, you hear them and you see the execution, they automatically go into like, I'm going to work the business. Like, I'm going to run the show, right? And also, they're like, oh, maybe I need some help too. But they don't show description. You can see by the lack of organization or the lack of teamwork, per se. Like, let's say a coffee shop is like the business owner is running it, and there's no structure. There's no, I'm handling this. You're handling, let's say, the fruity drinks. I'm handling the coffee, and so or whatever, right? And so it's all over the map. But that is very interesting. But so now you got the executive summary. Now now you have a good overview of what the business is, what your goal is. But next step is your company description. So next you have to go into detail about like the mission of the business, where you want to be, the location, and just pretty much outlining what the business will be. That's your next step. So can you go more depth, like, of what company description is and why this is important?
So the company description is exactly what it says, right? The description of the company. It's as simple as that. What is the description of my company, right? So this is important because now I can paint a picture. Imagine having an empty canvas, okay? Just a blank white canvas. Now, as I'm building this description, you can close your eyes and you can imagine it, right? And you're starting to paint on this white canvas. By the time you finish the company description, you should have an image on this canvas. And this is going to be your business, okay? For example, me. Okay, if I close my eyes, I can imagine a very homey, very vibey coffee shop. Maybe rustic, maybe some brown, kind of stressed leather couches in there, maybe some dimmed lights, right? Comfortable seating, okay? Not extremely bright in there, but it's not extremely dark. Like I said, it's dim to give kind of like a cabin feel. Okay, to give like a cabin feel, maybe, right? This is, you have to check per regulations and whatnot. Maybe a little fireplace.
Yeah.
Okay, now the fireplace, that gives a vibe.
Yeah.
When I think of it, okay, I see it in my head right now. Right now I can see it. And this is going to be fantastic in the wintertime because I already know where I'm sitting. Give me my cup of coffee and give me my caramel macchiato, I'm gonna be sitting on the leather couch that's stressed leather by the fireplace. So I already have this on my canvas, right? So this is the kind of the description, the vision that I have for my business.
That's
Okay?
very powerful. And I just thought about this analogy. That's true. For the company description, like you said, like you have a blank canvas. So now you describe it, and now you have an image in your head. Now you have an image of what you want and what you want it to be. It's almost like building a house. Mm-hmm. It's like
Exactly.
without it, if you just be like, I'm gonna build a house, you can start laying bricks down. You can start laying stuff down, and then you're like, wait, but how is it gonna look? How big is the room? How big is like? You can start working on it, but you're never gonna work towards what the house is gonna look like. It's just gonna be a mess.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly the point of the company description, right? You don't want to just throw things like you. Then there's some paintings that are worth a lot of money, but you don't want to just take some paintbrushes and just throw it on there. And like, all right, we got a coffee shop,
Yeah.
right? What's gonna make your coffee shop stand out? This should be your company description. This should be your vision, right? Of course, you have the name. Part of the description is the name, okay? But now you've painted your canvas. You have an idea of how this is going to be. It's going to be hardwood floors. It's going to be dimmed lights, stressed leather couch, like the tannish, brownish color of the couches. You know what I mean? There's going to be a stack of books. There's probably going to be a little throw blanket on the couch, a little throw cover just to home decor style, you know, to give a vibe to it, you know. Maybe the cups are kind of stressed cups. You know, you've seen some cups that are like, they're not like the bright white, you know, modern coffee shop style cups, you know. Maybe you can serve it in a mug. Okay, like a mug with like an elk on there, or a deer, white-tailed deer on there. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. You know, just a different vibe. I'm already getting into this thing. You know what I mean? But it's a vibe. It's a cabin, you know, outdoorsy, you know, rustic vibe. Yeah. This is part of my description. Okay? This is part of my vision. I can see it in my head when I close my eyes right now. Okay? So I need to form this, because when I form this, I create this image in my head. This is what the client is going to see when they come in. Okay, so now you have the company description. You have a vision. You know how it's going to look. Now this has to fit your target audience. This has to match. I didn't know this years ago. Okay, this rustic feeling of, you know, coffee shop is not going to fit anywhere. This is probably not going to vibe the best in, you know, a very upscale city or very fast-paced city. Might vibe very good in the suburbs. Yeah. You know, affluent suburbs, right? This may not be the best vibe, you know, for some around some college schools. It's just an example, right? And so a lot of the coffee shops now are taking the modern approach. You know, there's a coffee shop that opened up not too far from us, and it's like a white building, very modern inside, very modern. For me, it was nice, but it had no vibe to it, you know? So now you have the vision, you know how it is, you have the picture. Now you need to have who your target audience is going to be. Your vision, first of all, the approach to this needs to fit your target audience. Okay, so if you're living in a town and that's where you want to open your business, so you already know who the target audience is. You need to take your business and let it be special to that. Because you open the business in their town, right? And this is not like a mobile business. So you already have the target audience. I'm in the suburbs, the affluent suburbs. Okay, I know what they like. I know what they don't like. Now I need to design my business around them that they will be interested into it. Yeah. It can't be some crazy random thing and it doesn't fit the picture.
Yeah. Which makes very sense, which this feeds to the next step. So once you got the vision, you know what it looks like, so now you can start executing it. The next step is your products and your services. So this plays big into part because, like obviously, every business business owner, right? They're gonna want to be like Amazon. We're for everybody. We want to get everybody. Like Walmart, they get everybody. except maybe bougie people. Bougie people want to go to Trader Joe's.
Or Target.
All right, or Target, they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? And so a lot of people feel like they get greedy or they want to like maximize, in a sense, they want to maximize profit, but at the same time, as they try to hit everybody, they're actually cutting into the profit because they're not going to niche, you know, like you described. So how important is tailoring your products or slash services to your target audience? And how do you find that target audience?
So it's very important that you target, you put everything around your target audience, right? Let's rewind a little bit. How do you find the target audience? First of all, you're gonna look to see your product that you want to offer, the idea, right? We probably have talked about this on the last episode a little bit. Your idea. Who is this gonna fit for? Okay. Who is going to buy this product? If I sell, for example, let's say we talked about the store that sold like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something.
Yeah.
Anime cards or whatever they sold. Is a 45-year-old mom or dad going to buy, or a 45-year-old professional, no kids going to buy this?
Probably not.
Now, 45-year-old parents, family, they're probably going to buy it, right? But the real target for that, I would assume, right, this is not my field of specialty, right, to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon cards, is you're probably going to find college kids, high school kids that are going to buy these kind of things. You know? I haven't really had any parents lately, we're talking about in today's time, buy these cards that I've heard for their kids. That's just an example.
Yeah.
Okay? Another example can be, let's see, a bodybuilding gym. Who's a bodybuilding gym for? It's for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Can anybody use the bodybuilding gym to get a workout? Yeah. But who is it primarily going to attract?
The bodybuilders.
The bodybuilders. So you need to know who's going to buy your product. That's who your target is. Okay? Who's going to buy your product? That's how you know your target. Okay? Now, when you have this product, you have to kind of design it and make it beautiful to their eye. Okay? And so I have this idea, I have this product. Now that's my target audience. Now I'm going to make it fit my target audience. Or this product is only going to attract a certain target audience. Okay? And so that's where we're going to go down, how we're going to find the target audience. Right? If I started with the product. Okay? So like I said, with the coffee shop, for example, if I decide to open it in my town, I know what my town has. It's the suburbs. It has professionals. Okay? I'm probably going to see mostly 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds. If I go to the coffee shop, who do I see mostly? It's an easy way to kind of just gauge it.
Yeah.
When we sit in a coffee shop, Monday when we sat in the coffee shop, we always see the group of older men. They're in their 60s and 70s. About 6 to 8 of them. They're always there.
Yeah.
But we see some high schoolers. But we usually, at that specific coffee shop, we see meetings going on. Mm-hmm. We see them have a friend. We see them having a business meeting or an interview. And how old are they usually?
Older people, professionals.
Older people, professionals. Okay? So I'm going to cater. When I open my coffee shop, I'm going to cater to that. They're professionals. They're going to have meetings. They're going to drink a cup of coffee with a friend. They're going to go out for a cup of coffee. They're going to meet their business partner. They're going to meet their employees. They're going to meet their managers. They're going to meet somebody in the professional field over a cup of coffee. Now, that's not saying that high schoolers or college people are not going to come to my coffee shop. Mm-hmm. But primarily, my primary target when I open a coffee shop is going to be them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to design my cafe for them to make them feel comfortable and welcoming, that they want to enjoy a cup of coffee at most coffee spot.
Yeah. But how would you go about knowing what they want, though? Like, let's say, like, let's say, like, professionals, like, how do you go about knowing what they were like and like that feeling? You know, like what would these people tailor? Let's say like if you're a young entrepreneur, right? How do you know what older people may want?
So I hang around a lot of older people, right? And we were going to talk about this at the end, but interviews with entrepreneurs, other entrepreneurs that have coffee shops, other entrepreneurs that have investments in coffee shops or whatever field you want to open up in, have a business in, or you just pick their brains. But also, for me, all of my friends are like 35, 40 plus. Right? So I know how for the most part, what they like. Right? Let's give an example. Like a 45-year-old professional. Okay? Is he going to want to go to a coffee shop that's extremely loud and there's a bunch of college students?
Probably not.
No. He's going to want to go somewhere, or she's going to want to go somewhere that's quiet, that's clean, that has quality, that has good service, that treats him with respect, that has a little bit of a vibe, not just bland. You go to Dunkin', do you see any professionals sitting in Dunkin'?
Probably just drive through and out.
That's it. You know, you go to the local coffee shop, like I said, we see them sitting there. All right? It has to have space for them to be able to sit there. That's another thing, right? You have to give them the opportunity to truly take it in. And so what I'll do is I would study, if that's my target, is professionals, you know, white collar jobs, right? 35 plus probably years old. What do they like? And I'll go down the rabbit hole of looking and researching on what they like. What kind of vibe they like. What maybe there's research on the color of the walls can change your mood. Maybe I need to paint a wall a certain color. Maybe I need to put something up a certain color that catches their vibe. Maybe I have books about business or their profession, whatever is in my area. We have FedEx in the area. There's a lot of professionals who got a FedEx. You know what I mean? And so I would give a quiet, nice vibe, offer quality, have a mature setting, you know, where there's opportunity and space for them to have a meeting and not bother somebody or be bothered.
That makes a lot of sense, especially because now when you have like a character, you have this character in mind, this person, now that makes it a whole lot easier being able to tailor to that person. Because now instead of it being like a whole row of people, and it's like saying you can't make everybody happy.
Yep.
Like you're not going to be able to make all those customers happy. So if you can't make them all happy, they're not going to do biz again. But if you can make that one person consistently happy, now you got a stream of income into your business.
Yep.
That's powerful. That makes a lot of sense that way. But next step, now that you found your products and services and the person that you want to tailor that to, is the market analysis. So now you have to analyze the market and evaluate the industry landscape, the market size, the growth potential as well. Like for example, like in the UFC, like MMA promotions, is like UFC has got like a monopoly. They actually got sued and they lost. They settled out of court because they knew they were gonna lose. Like the MMA promotion, they dominated very hard. So you're probably not gonna be able to dominate on the nationwide or worldwide. Maybe you could dominate just locally, for example. So is there a lot of growth potential there? MMA promotion, probably not skyrocket growth potential. And identifying the target segments, what customers need. So can you go into that more like analyzing the market before diving into it? You know, I guess like checking the water before you dive into it. There might be some sharks in there. You know, like why is it important to like know your market and getting into it before you actually start throwing money behind it and energy?
So understanding the market, analyzing the market is very important, right? This is why you create the business plan, okay? It's so you can see all this. All this can be revealed to you. If you don't go through this step by step and you break everything down and you write the description and you go, you know, through your products and services, who's going to run the business and all of this, you don't have a clear picture. You don't have a clear description. You don't have clear details on what's going to happen in the business, okay? So when it comes to market analysis, if you're going to just open up a business just to open up a business, and I've done that, okay, then you may not see success because you might open it up and realize that, hey, maybe there was not a demand for this. Like I gave the example of the fidget spinners. There was a big opportunity in the market for fidget spinners when it first came out. But when I decided to enter that market, I was late. Okay, because that's something like a fad.
Yeah.
Right? Another example like of a fad, for example. And I'm not saying this is completely out the door, but the nutritional teas, the loaded teas. That's just an example, for example. How many people opened up a loaded tea spot?
I actually saw one close to my house that closed down.
Most of them are closing down. The one here in the mall closed down. You know, and they have another one in Cargill. They have another one down here, and they have another one down here. They have another one down here. They have another one down here, right? And that was so much more a year or two, 3 years ago maybe when it first came out, something along that. It was crazy. Like, look at the boba now, right? And so you need to, and I'm not saying, like, I'm the kind of person that I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive in business. I'm aggressive in a lot of things, right? And so for me, like, just because it's a way out, that I mean, I ain't going to make money. This is me. Maybe a little ego coming there, right? But the reality is if I see every loaded tea place closing down, or the majority, why should I go enter this business? Okay? So that's me analyzing the market. I took time to have a market analysis and look, okay, I want to open a loaded tea spot. Let me look at the market. Is it a demand for it? Who's in my market? Who's near me? Who's away from me? Who's been open a long time? Who's having the majority of the market share? You know, where are most of the customers going? Is there still a demand? Are people still wanting this thing? Or is it just gone? Okay? Who are the big dogs in the market? You know?
Yeah.
So these are things that when you have a market analysis, these are things that you look at. The audience that your clients, the consumers that you have a target for. Are they even going to loaded teas? When you go to loaded teas, who do we see there the most?
I feel like I see like people 30 and up.
Sometimes it depends on the vibe, right? You see, you see some 30 and up, but mostly like the ones that I've seen, like the one, for example, there was one in the town nearby that had a bunch of like college girls working there. All I saw in there was college girls going to get loaded teas. You know what I mean? And so if I was targeting, 40, 45-year-olds, right? Are they still buying loaded teas?
That makes sense.
Or was it only a fad at the beginning? So everybody jumped on at the beginning. That happens with everything, right? But is that their normal thing? Are they going to go get a loaded tea right now? Or are they going to go get a cup of coffee right now?
They're probably going to get a cup of coffee.
They're going to have a meeting at a loaded tea spot or at a coffee shop. Okay, so I analyze the market for my consumer target. Who's going to be the target? I'm going to look at who's the big dogs, okay? Like if we look at coffee shops right now, and I haven't done this yet, and I probably shouldn't use coffee. I'm giving up too many ideas on my business.
Oh, you're giving out the free game out here.
But for example, I want to open a coffee shop. I have not done this yet because I kept putting it on the back burner. But who in the area is running the coffee shop? For example, you have two okay ones that I think are okay in town. I go to one of them more than any. Okay, every week I'm there because there's no other options really. There you go. What did I just say?
No other options really.
So there's already a little point. Like, okay, there's no other options there. Okay, so there's an opportunity. Okay, but who has the share? You look at Starbucks and Dunkin', they have majority share. This is the market analysis, for example. You look at Dunkin' and Starbucks, they're busy all day. The line is wrapped around the building. It's not like that at the local coffee shop. You know? I'm not saying the local coffee shop is not making money, but we're just saying who has the most market share.
Yeah.
Who's the big dog? You know what I mean? Now, after the big dogs, the corporate, right? Who's after them? I know who's after them. right now in my town. Okay? So what do I see that they are doing correct, and what can I do better? What can I offer better? Maybe I went in there multiple times. I didn't even get greeted. Maybe I went in there, coffee didn't seem so fresh, you know? Because at the same time, I learned something about coffee drinkers. They're very picky.
Yeah.
For the majority, like especially when you get to the older group, 35, 40 plus. I don't know how it gets this deep, but like you have to roast them a certain time. Like they roast their own coffee beans. They order their specifically like special order coffee beans, and they have like a full on process. And I'm like, bro, just give me a cup of coffee.
Man, what?
You know what I mean? And so the quality of your coffee, that's the number one guy in town. What's the quality of his coffee? What is the quality of their service? I'm just analyzing the market that I'm in. Okay. Also, the cup of coffee at Dunkin', $3-4. At the little cute boutique style coffee shop in town, they're selling that thing for $9, $8.
Yeah.
We were out there 3 weeks ago at a coffee shop. One of the ladies with us, I think, added like almond milk, and a cup of coffee was like $8 or $9.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, that was insane.
You know what I mean? So this is why we want to analyze all this. We want to see where we fit in the market. You know, we want to see where the market is. And some of this is just guessing, right? But you're going to do as much research as possible, and you're going to analyze it, and you're going to assume, and you're going to speculate. But you want to see and assume where you're going to fit in the market. This is why the market analysis, and it's in the name, analyzing the market analysis, right? Of the business that you want to be in.
Makes sense, especially like you said, like that one place we went to is the coffee was more expensive, but when I look at it, I guess at the same time you're paying more money for the experience. So I guess that's the way those people went. It's like, okay, maybe we're not gonna be able to outbeat Dunkin' by selling cheaper coffee, but we can make some profit by selling a better, let's say, drinking experience, right? You got nice, and it looks nice inside, it looks nice outside, you got a nice view, it's calm, it's quiet. So that makes a lot of sense with the market analysis because, like you said, it complements your services and products too, because now it's like now it's refining it. Once you do that, because like we started with like, I guess we started kind of like with trunk, and as we're going, now we're giving it shape.
Yep.
Now it's looking more detailed. And so the market analysis gives you even more detail into what you should lean in towards. But before we move on, I want to mention to you, a lot of people, they want to make a product because they say it's popping, it's popular, and they go into it because they say they're buying, right? But why is it important to be unique and have your uniqueness and have your niche instead of just I'm selling what everyone is selling? There's really no difference in me besides maybe a couple bucks here and there, but we're really just the same thing, and nothing really makes me stand out. Why is it important to your business to stand out, your product, services?
It's important for your business to stand out and your service to stand out because if you don't stand out, if you and your product does not stand out, the consumer is going to go to what they know. Okay? If they're going to go to what they know, and then they're going to go for the price. So if I'm a coffee shop and I just opened up in town and my product is not fantastic and I'm not fantastic to the point where people are talking about it, they don't know about me, they're going to go to the Dunkin' or the other local coffee shop that they know about and just buy it. But if I am unique, if most coffee shops are unique, and I have a good quality product, good coffee, the good vibe, good service, good experience, good everything, somebody's going to say something about it. Somebody's going to talk about it. They're going to hear about it because of the good. They're going to hear about people hear about you because of the good, and people hear about you because of the bad. But of course, because of the bad, it makes it 10 times worse if somebody hears something bad about you, right? But they hear about you from either or, because it's bad or because it's good. And so, if you are not unique, you have nothing unique, your product is not unique, they're not going to hear about you, okay, for the new consumers. And so they'll not cover spend money with you, okay? And for the customer that tried you, if you're not unique, your personality, your service, your quality, your product, everything, the experience, and they paid $6, $7, well, I'll just go get the cup of coffee over there for $4.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little bit better experience. So you got to factor in competition and prices.
Yeah.
So you need to be unique, because if you're unique in some instances, okay, if you are unique, right, and you have a unique product, people are willing to pay more. People pay for the product, they pay for the experience, they pay for the service, how they get treated, what they're given, and the whole experience. Some people are willing to pay more, and that's who I want. The cheap client is always going to be the cheap client. They give you the hardest problems.
Yeah. That's very powerful. Because like you mentioned, this open my eyes, because like when you don't stand out, people are gonna go with what they know and what's more convenient. What you would call it? This corporate company is right here around the corner. Let me just go there. There's nothing really incentivizing me to go to like your coffee shop.
Yep.
And then another thing that reminded me of, they mentioned that makes you unique and by your services and the way you interact, go about. I remember one time, not one time, but a lot of times, like I'll go shop with my parents. My parents, they speak some English, but a lot of times they ask me to help them. And I've noticed when we go to places and there's Americans that aren't Hispanic, but they make an effort to speak Spanish, or they know some Spanish and they crack little jokes and they try to speak Spanish, right? My parents lean more towards those people. Even if they're more expensive, they like the service. They like the vibe. Like their guard is off. You know, they're like, this guy, like, he's trying to talk to me in my language, and I'll just go with them. Instead of the previous business, it was more bland or whatever. You know, like that example. But a lot of Spanish in this country, a lot of more coming. So maybe learn some Spanish, they'll get you some more sales. But
Si, senor.
this guy's already doing it. But that does make a lot of sense, because your uniqueness will, like I said, leave an impact in people's mind.
Yep.
So now we got the market strategy. So next, which is the numbers that make people go crazy. Why is it important to have your financial like goals? Like, for example, like how much should I make a day? How much should I make a week? How much should I make? So like breaking all this down, and the importance of balance sheets, like you said, how much employers are going to get paid, and so on, and just highlighting the keys and assumptions, what you will assume your business will make, right? Why is it important to assume how much profit is going to come in, and knowing these things before you even open doors, and not just opening doors and then start tracking numbers?
Okay. So let me go back a little bit on the market strategy, okay, before we move on to this. Market strategy, guys, add some more things to add is like your strategy for the market. How are you going to attract the market, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give you one real quick right now. If you mention this episode when you come to my coffee shop, it's not if, when you come to my coffee shop,
Man.
if you mention this episode, I'll give you a free cup of coffee, okay? So that's a market strategy right there, okay? So you have offers.
Yeah.
When you open up your business, you have a campaign, advertising campaign, okay? Your social media, how does your social media look like? How does your ads look like? And this is all going to be kind of related to the strategy when you ask me, you know, what's going to separate you from everybody else, okay? Why are you making that face?
God, I think I jumped one.
You know, you kind of hinted at it, but you moved on. So this is all on the strategy of why this should come to us, okay? But if I have a $8 cup of coffee and my ad looks like it's $1 off the like the dollar menu ad,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to attract the right customers. So I want to have a good social media presence. I want to have good quality reels, good quality pictures. I want everything in the marketing strategy, the advertising to look top notch. You know, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, you know, sharing posts, asking people to check in, you know, opening up your business and you're doing giveaways. You know, you're doing raffles, prizes, okay? Come in on a grand opening day, enter the name, and you win free coffee for a year. You know what I'm saying? So that's all goes to the market strategy, okay? And like I said, if you mention this episode, when you come to my coffee shop, did I say free cup of coffee?
Free cup of coffee.
Free cup of coffee, okay? Small, not large. Now I'll give you whatever you want.
But I want to talk about the market too, because also it's like some people will go really hard in the marketing, and they'll sell you on the phone, online, on the TV commercials. You're like, man, this business is popping. Like for example, McDonald's. You look at the ads, you see the pictures in the restaurant, you're thinking they're about to bring out a beautiful burger, and they come out bringing out like this itty bitty burger right here. You know, it's super thin. Just like, bro, this is not what was being marketed to me.
Yeah.
You know, what was being marketed to me, it looks fresh, it looks big, it looks nice. And not even them, but even other businesses and services, like they market phenomenal, but you get there and the service / product is subpar.
Yep.
You know, and that turned a lot of people off.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you made me believe it was going to be this. And then I came here and this is subpar. This is just average. So why is it important to not just like fake out the customer and make them think that they're going to get stellar? Like they say, you get a phenomenal like homemade burger and you get a McDonald's and it's just a squeezed like little sandwich.
Because some people take pride in that thing, especially in the time and day we're in now, man. People want things a certain way these days. It has to be perfect. There's no way for it to be perfect, but it got to be perfect. So these days, I mean, they call it, what do they call it? There's a word for false advertising. False advertising. But like when you open up a business and you have these nice pictures of your product, my coffee looks good, and the beans are fresh and they're roasted, whatever, you know, a certain amount of time, and I'm importing these from, you know, Colombia, whatever it is, and then they get there and it looks like a cup of coffee from the Exxon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the gas station. Which, I mean, the gas station coffee ain't that bad. But the quality's not there. So how am I going to charge you $8, $6 for this quality cup of coffee that I showed you on the reel, and then you come in and this is like a bitter cup of coffee, old coffee. That's going to leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth. You leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth, they're not coming back. Then, we talked about this a few minutes ago, they're going to talk about the good, they're going to talk about the bad. But if they talk about the bad, that's 10 times worse. So you're going to lose some potential customers.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I want to talk a little bit too is when it comes to delivering on your products and services, which everybody has an off day. It happens. Life happens, right? Things throw you off. Maybe your wife went off on you before you left the house. Whatever. Maybe your kid. Like I saw a video of like this guy. He had a big 80-inch TV, and the kid hit him in the crotch, and he dropped his TV. It fell from the second floor. I would have been pissed, and that probably throw your day off, right? Because now you want to whoop that kid really bad, but maybe you didn't do it, and now you're out on an 80-inch TV. But how? Like I was watching this documentary. This Japanese guy, he has the best sushi restaurant in the world. Every day he opens up, people say it's always the same quality. It's always consistent. He's like, I always give the best service. Like, and then when you don't give the best service, 'cause I remember like there'll be like long time customers, and you'll see like videos of people like even online. It's like you just lost yourself a customer, right? How important is it to always deliver the best you got when you have your business and your services and your products, and not just, I've been doing this for years now. I'm a half-ass maybe today.
So it's important because me and you talked about this probably a month ago. and I told you, and this kind of goes to sharpen your sword, like the whole idea of this podcast, right? I believe in one thing. And I told my kids jiu-jitsu classes yesterday, right? You want to be a black belt in everything you do. You can't necessarily be a black belt in everything you do, but you need to aspire to be a black belt in everything you do. And what does that mean? That means you need to do things to the best of your ability. Okay? So it's important for you to give your best in anything you do, no matter what it is. It's extremely important because that's who you are. That's your reputation. That's your standard. If I'm going to be half-assing it with you, that says a lot about me. So if you do that with me, for example, I'm not coming back to see you. If you do that in a relationship with me, I don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? So what you are, what you give. This is a standard and a reputation that you have to keep specifically as a business. You want to keep making money? I can't be feeling good today and giving the best service ever, and tomorrow my son drops my TV. Now I have a bad day and I ruin my customers' day when they come see me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to give you the best service when you come see me. I will give you the best of me. I will not let it's called compartmentalizing. Keeping things out of the business. Keeping it stowed in a box. Keep it in the car. Okay? Keep it at home. Keep your problems at home. And keep your business problems at the business. Don't take them home. Right? But that's in relationships. That's in family. That's in business. It's whatever it is. You got to give the best quality, the best service you can give. You give me bad service, I see how you treat people. You treat me bad or not with the best service, not the best respect, you won't see me again. Just that simple. So that you're going to lose a customer. So it's extremely important. And if you want your business to last a long time, you need to focus on that. That should be something you see every day. Like I said earlier, I go to coffee shops, you don't greet me, I may not go back. You know what I mean? I go to the other coffee shop and they're like, hey, and they call me by your name. Hey, Mo, hey, this, how you doing? Do you want that cup of coffee? Coffee, cafe and cocoa? You know, right when we walk through the door, they already know what we're going to drink and they know us.
Yeah.
I want to go there. She gave me better service. I want to go see them. You know what I mean? That's just an example.
100%. And what's crazy is I feel like sometimes people feel like customers should stay loyal to them. And I remember many times, like, for some reason, when I go out to see my parents, they always find stuff in the food. Like hair, flies, whatever. They always check. But it was like we had been going to the restaurant for years. One time, there was a fly in the salad. Never went there again. Like, they lost us, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, people feel, like, entitled. Like, hey, I was able to. And I see the mindset. It's like, dude, I have been doing so well up to this point. Just one hiccup. What's the problem? Why don't you give me a second chance?
Yeah.
Like, why are you not being loyal to me? You know?
Well, some people, man, these days, like I told you, we live in a time where maybe one mistake and that's it. That's part of today's time. Now, I'm not going to be that extreme, me personally. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I had a bad day. And I try to justify it. And I shouldn't, but whatever. Go back next time. If it's again, I won't be back. You know? So like, I went somewhere and they're being a jerk, whatever. I went back, it didn't happen. So they just had a bad day. So be it. You know?
Makes sense. If they're being a jerk to me, I'm not coming back, bro. But, all right. I don't have anything to add to marketing.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the financials and the budget, the last part of this, guys. The last part of the business plan, okay? And when it comes to financials and budget, guys, is we want to come up with something, like I said at the beginning, you know, of what it takes to make my profit off the cup of coffee. I'm not going to just say I'm going to sell 200 cups. I need to know, I'm not going to just say I'm going to sell $250. I want to make $250. I need to know what it takes to make that $250. I need to know what it cost me to buy the cups. I need to know what it cost me to get the coffee. I need to know what it cost me to run the machines and to make that cup of coffee. That's what I need to know. I need to know what it costs me to have an employee making that cup of coffee. I need to know what it costs me, the day-to-day operations, so I can factor all this in and know what my profit and what my losses are. Okay? So when it comes to financials, I need to know everything that's related to my business. When it comes to financial and budget, I need to know what the rent is, what my utilities are, what the salaries of the employees are, what is my salary, what are expenses I have, marketing expenses, taxes, whatever it is that is going to cost you. I need to have that so I know what I need to make to break even. I need to at least know what I make to break even. My phone bill, my Wi-Fi bill, the water bill, the utilities, the cost of my products, the cost to make it, what my products cost, what the ingredients cost. Now I have what it costs to run the business. Now let me form a plan on what I want to make. I want to make $250 a day. So now, if I make $250 a day, I can end up with $2,000 profit at the end of the month, for example. So I can do simple math to see what it costs me to run my business and what I need to make, what I need to sell to make a profit. Now, also part of that, once that starts going, now I can see what kind of budget I can set for advertising, marketing. I can have a budget for that. I can have a budget to maybe bring in a new product. I can spend X amount of dollars, to clean up the cafe a little bit, make it a little bit nice, upgrade the cafe a little bit. I have a set budget. Okay, I have the financials. I know what my losses are this month, or what my profits are this month. So that's why it's important to have that.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Because I guess it's, you see this all the time, it's like, all right, I'm going to just pour in all this money. There's no tracking of it. And the next you know, boom, now I need to go take a loan out. But, I think this is very, very underrated. Why is it so important to having the numbers down and knowing how much you need, how much everything's going to cost, and how everything will turn around to be the profit that you want?
Well, it's important because the whole thing is based off numbers. A lot of times, and I get happy doing this sometimes, but I just start typing numbers in my calculator. What if I made this? What I can do? What if I made this? What I can do? And I'm throwing big numbers. But numbers, it's all about the numbers. Okay? So financials, first of all, is what is it going to cost me to open this coffee shop? First thing, with the furniture, with the fixtures, with the coffee machines, with the ingredients, with the coffee, with the lighting, with the fireplace. What is it going to cost me? $75,000. Okay? Do I have $75,000? Okay? Do I have an investor that goes into the financials? How much is he putting in or she's putting in? Do I have a partner? What is she or he putting in? Okay? So those are the numbers up front, what it costs to open the business in the financial statement part of this. Okay? Now, the second part is what it costs me to run this business day to day. Now, what I need to do to make profit after paying the non-negotiables to the day-to-day expense. So you have to know the numbers because you can't be successful if you're not making money. So you have to know the numbers of the business. Whatever it comes to. The expenses, the profits, the losses, everything. You have to know the numbers to be successful.
Powerful. And so that was all for me. Just a summary. Oh, no. Interviewing entrepreneurs. You talked about a little bit, but where's the value in interviewing entrepreneurs?
So interviewing entrepreneurs, guys, in the process of creating this is they can help you and give you different viewpoints. Okay? And if you know people, when I posted about this opening coffee shop, I had 5 to 10 people reach out to me, hey, I'll help you out. I had people that were coffee roasters. I had people that had a business, coffee business. I knew people that knew somebody that had a very successful business. Okay. So I had right away people that are willing to guide me and help me in the right direction. So when you do this, especially if you get to somebody that already done it, they can point you in the right direction and give you ideas to open your mind up to different things and give you different strategies that will help you see success in your business. So always interviewing entrepreneurs and business people, businessmen, businesswomen, can give you a different outlook. You will learn something, okay? And also, when I open this, I'm going to interview baristas, people that work in the coffee shop. I'm not going to just interview the business owner. Me personally, I'm going to interview people that work in coffee shops, so I can see, okay, who's your client? How many cups of coffee do you sell a day? What do you see? When is it slow? When is it busy? Just to pick the brain. You will see something. You will get something out of this. So always interviewing people, go getting a cup of coffee, with somebody can open up your eyes and teach you something that otherwise you may have not seen coming.
Makes a lot of sense. And that's true. There's always value in people, and maybe even just their mindset, the way to look at things. That'll give you a lot of power. Like look, we talk, me and you talk. There's a lot of power in the mindset. Yes, you do know a lot about business, and you're very wise in business, but also mindset and the business. And so, I mean, there's no better way to knowing, than asking people who've been there, who've traveled your road, and they'll give you a nice guide for the road ahead for you.
Yes, sir. And that's where we're going to wrap it up, guys. So the business plan, that's episode 2. Create the business plan so you have a blueprint of your business, the view, the vision, the canvas that you paint of your business, right? It starts with the executive summary, the company description, products and services, okay, market analysis, market strategy, and then the financials and the budget. Okay, that's just a little overview of your business plan. Let me give you one more thing, guys. Even if you don't want to open a business quite yet, if you're thinking of a business, write a business plan out and see what you learn from that. Okay? And if you know me personally, I want to see your business plan. If you don't mind me, picking your brain, you pick my brain. Okay? So you don't have to necessarily be opening a business quite yet, but go ahead and mess around with the business plan and design a business plan. This way you can get something from it and you will learn something from it. And then it will open your eyes to painting the canvas different ways. And it will kind of guide you to what you need to do and study a little more. All right? So I hope you're liking these episodes, guys. That's 2 episodes that we're done right now. We have 2 more, possibly 1 or 2 more episodes to just, basic level, entry level on starting a business. Okay? So thank you guys for watching Sharpen Your Sword podcast, episode 18. This podcast, guys, is designed to make you guys sharper. The sword mentally, the sword physically, okay? Do something every day to make you stronger for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for your country. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.